So recently I received a hate comment, and usually when I receive hate comments, I just brush it off. I don't really let them get under my skin because I receive hate comments quite frequently. After all, I make videos on the internet for thousands upon thousands of people to watch. Of course, not all of those people are going to like me. But this hate comment rubbed me the wrong way. So much so that I felt compelled to make a video because not only did this hate comment come from me and my brand, but it also contained an idea that I believe could discourage a lot of aspiring content creators, a lot of aspiring life coaches, basically anybody who wants to get into the transformation space, who wants to help people elevate their lives. And the reason why I know this is because I literally have seen this affect my girlfriend. Not that comment in particular, but this idea within that hate comment, which is that if you don't have all of the answers, you shouldn't be making informational videos online. You shouldn't be giving people advice if you don't know everything there is to know about life. If you believe that, if you're one of those people who allows that idea to discourage you from creating content, I want to ensure that by the end of this video, you not only don't believe that anymore, but you actually see the idea for what it is, which is extremely short-sighted, myopic, and just plain wrong. Just objectively incorrect. The first reason why you shouldn't think like this if you want to be a content creator, a life coach, or anybody who makes it your mission to transform other people's lives is because your lack of knowledge actually is an asset. Your lack of knowledge is an asset because it makes you more relatable. You see, nobody can relate to the person who seemingly knows it all. And by the way, if somebody appears to know everything, then they really don't know a whole lot at all. But that's a different discussion for a different day. If you don't know everything and you're open about that, you're vulnerable and transparent about the fact that, hey, I don't have all of the answers. Not only do I not have them yet, but I never will. When you can be vulnerable and open about that, you make your audience trust you more because you are being real, you are being authentic. And a lot of people might think that this lessens your credibility within the space. But in all actuality, it increases your credibility because it increases trust. People trust you as a person. Ultimately, your goal as a creator is not to get people to trust what you say, it's to get people to trust who you are. And the only way you can do that sustainably is to be yourself, be open, and acknowledge all of the flaws that you have. Specifically, and especially, not having all of the answers. Now, like I said, you will never have all of the answers. You will never have all of the answers for as long as you're on this earth. Why is that? The reason why this is because the more you learn, the more you realize that you don't know anything at all. I know it's a cliche, tired, worn out quote, but it is extremely true, and I'm going to explain why. The reason why you feel like you know less the more that you do know is because when you're seeking out information, generally speaking, the more information you're seeking out, the more advanced, in particular, the information that you're seeking out is, the more advanced the sources of the information will be. And when you come across people who know more than you do, you are quickly reminded of the fact that you don't even know what you don't know. This is something that I've talked about extensively with my friend who is a college graduate. He majored in, I believe, social work, master's in social work, very, very deep into psychology. We talk a lot about the unknown unknowns. The unknown unknowns are essentially exactly what they sound like. They're the pieces of information that you're not even aware of the fact that you don't currently have. And the more you expose yourself to people who are advanced in their respective fields, people who have specialized knowledge in the thing that you are seeking information about, the more you become aware of the fact that there are so many unknown unknowns out there that you will literally never have enough time in this lifetime or the next 100 lifetimes to have all of the answers. We as a collective, all of humanity together, doesn't have all of the answers. And that's including the history of humanity. Billions upon billions of people have not figured this life thing out. So what makes you think that you alone are going to figure this life thing out? You're not. You're not going to figure this life thing out by yourself, but you can play your part by exposing yourself to more unknown unknowns. And as you expose yourself to these unknown unknowns, teaching them to other people, which is the next reason why believing that you have to have all of the answers to warrant creating content or coaching people or helping people transform their lives in whatever way seems fit to you is a terrible idea. It's because teaching is actually one of the most effective ways to retain the information that you are learning. This is something that it took me a very long time to realize, but I've edited pretty much 95 to 96% of my content since I started creating content. As a matter of fact, every piece of content that I've created, I have edited in some way, shape, or form, and then I would send the semi-edited version off to the editor whenever I did have an editor. So I've edited every piece of content I've ever created, literally over 1,000 videos, many of which are self-improvement based. And what this has done is this has allowed me to not only learn the lessons in terms of consuming the content originally, whether it be through a book, through a podcast, an interview, or anything else, but it's also allowed me to speak it to the camera and then hear it back in my own voice every time I go to edit the video. And in doing this, I've reinforced all of these messages so deeply into my subconscious that I'm not even aware of them. I'm not even aware of them anymore. They're in the basement of my subconscious mind, but they dictate my actions on a day-to-day basis. That's why me being disciplined, me staying off of social media as a consumer rather than a creator, me practicing the principles that I preach is so much easier because I teach these principles to other people. When you teach something to someone else, not only does it help you retain the information much more efficiently, but it also allows you to have an accountability system. You have external accountability for applying the principles into your own life on a day-to-day basis. And the bigger your following gets, or the bigger your business gets, the more clients you have, the more sustainable and the more sound this accountability is. When you know that you have to hold yourself to the standard that you are holding other people to, you become much less likely to backslide and relapse into your old bad habits. It's not to say that you'll be perfect, and if you've been following my journey through the past 5 or 6 years, you've seen many, if not all of my imperfections, but at the same time, you can be better because you have a reason to be better. You have the social pressure of being better. And that right there puts you in a position to not only transform their lives, but to also transform your life much, much quicker. And what this does is this allows you to lead by example. And leading by example is very important because in doing so, not only do you gain a lot of followers, but you actually create leaders. A lot of people think that the best status symbol is how many people you have following you, how many people you have subscribed to you. But in all actuality, in my opinion, I think it's objectively a more status-inducing metric to have high quality followers, high quality subscribers. How many leaders have you created? How many successful people can say that you helped them on their path to where they are right now? I have subscribers that have passed me up in subscriber count on YouTube. And I'm not saying that I'm solely responsible for that because they are the ones who applied the principles. But if they were subscribed to me and they consumed my content and they're telling me, literally telling me that I played a part in their journeys, I am inclined to believe them. I'm inclined to believe that I did make an impact. And that's largely because instead of allowing the limiting belief that I had about not having enough information, not having enough wisdom to rule my life and prevent me from sharing the insights that I did have, I had the courage instead to create content and teach things that I hadn't even fully applied in my life yet. But creating the content gave me the extra motivation to apply in my life. And I want you to understand this about wisdom. This is one of the most profound realizations that I've ever had in my life. Knowledge is the answers that you have, but wisdom is the questions that you ask. Knowledge is the answers that you have. Wisdom is the questions that you ask. Ultimately, when you're creating a leader, what you're doing is you are helping them develop the capacity to ask the right questions. It's not about giving them all of the answers because, again, you don't have all of the answers, nor will you ever have all of the answers to give to them. And they won't have all of the answers either. But what you can do is you can help cultivate within them the tendency and the proclivity for asking the right questions. And when they ask the right questions, they will find the right answers on their own. Again, you are creating leaders instead of followers. You're creating a group of people who aren't reliant upon you to give them all of the information that they need to live a good life. You're not the Messiah. You're not the prophet. You are simply a person who is doing your part in helping people, helping humanity figure out this life thing. If you've made it this far into the video, then clearly you're looking to transform your life, whether that's your health, your finances, your love life, or your mindset. And transformation is much easier when you have a trustworthy person to hold your hand through the entire process. And that's why I'm proud to announce the pre-sale for my new coaching program. No, it's not some $997 course that promises to help you make $10,000 a month in 30 days. But it is all of my knowledge from 6 years of self-improvement in one convenient place. It is a brotherhood of young men like yourself who are looking to level up. It is a place where you can receive direct advice from me and learn all of my lessons with none of my losses. And if you join now, you can lock in the current price of $57 forever. Because once I officially launch it, the price is going up significantly. No, this isn't some fake scarcity marketing tactic. I'm actually increasing the price once it launches. That way, we won't have too many members causing chaos like in my old Discord server. If you know, you know. So if that sounds even remotely interesting to you, click the link in the description and join now.